Hello and welcome everybody. Good morning for us. Morning coffee we have. So we are going to explain 11 tips to you how you can improve your match play by analyzing my own game. Today we're playing against two very solid Spanish players. I will show you today how you can win those matches. So 11 tips in how you can win tough matches by somebody that lost this match. So to break down quickly what our opponents are like, we have two very good Spanish players. One of the players on the right is very steady. He didn't make a lot of mistakes during the match. I think close to 3-4 mistakes. The guy on the left could able to do a little bit more, could play very aggressive, made a little bit more mistakes. It's quite warm. I think 22-23 degrees when we're playing this. A lot of sand on the court so the ball will slide through. We were playing our service games, juice 40-30 every single time. We lost the first game on our own serve, that was a pity. And we lost a lot of points because we were returning the ball too fast. So the ball was coming quite fast to our bodies. Or to the glass, and it was very difficult sometimes to change angle to the player who was coming to the net. So at the end of the second set, we decided to play lob return even on the first serve, and because of that we broke their serve and we were playing much better. One of the things that I have learned from this game is that you should return a little bit slower on the feet, or a good lob return. If you return fast and if there is no other way to play the ball correctly, it is okay to play a quite aggressive and fast return to the player who is already there. But I would recommend to watch your return game, and the return was key in this match because we were getting on our own service games. We were broken twice, but playing a soft return or a lob return is key to success in this match. And also, if you want me to analyze your match, this is what we're doing on the membership channel. Now we have around 100 people member of the YouTube channel and the Facebook channel. So people send in their match, people send in their technique, and I analyze the match or your technique and I put it on the membership platform. So that's why we created a membership platform, because then not everybody sees your match. I want to analyze the second point of the match because it's quite an important aspect. So what I think is the difference between us and the Spanish paddle players is that they can take over the rally by this. So the moment we are playing a ball too fast, they can take over, they can play Chiquita, they can play the lob. And especially the guy in the green was very good at that. In defense a lot. So they were playing a lot of balls to its high so the green guy could defend, which is clever because his defense was amazing. So, and if they played the lob to me, I was probably playing to the guy on the left and he was a little bit worse. So they had a good plan to play to its, so its play cross. If it's played straight to the guy with the Sané racket, it will also be easy for him. So it has to play cross courts. But you can see here that it's a return. He plays the ball, plays the lob. He is lobbing straight because it's just a little bit closer to the net. So if he lobs straight over its, then he has to run further. Important point. Something we also did not do in this match, lobbing straight. So this is the bandeja. I stopped the video because the player now is over the white line in his positioning, and that's okay. But he's still able to defend the ball. He's able to play the lob. It's a very good shot of it, very good. But he's able to play a lob under pressure. This is what makes him a very good player. Then it's placed to the center. The ball comes up too much, and he can play Chiquita to it, and he can take over the net. This is next level defending. Also for us, this is what we are working on at the moment, that we can take over the rally like this. Very important then for us to work on the slow volley and the bandeja to the center, to the middle of the court, that the ball is there with a lot of slice and not a lot of speed, and that if we see that they play a faster ball, that we can take over the net. And if it's warm, if the courts are slidey, if there is a lot of wind, it's not easy to play this slow shot. I personally prefer to play like a fast Vibora in the corner, makes me more comfortable, but sometimes I play against players that have a very, very good backhand. So then it's not a good shot to play. So we have to learn to slow the game down, especially and also if it's a bandeja or a Vibora. So if you have an overhead, you don't need to accelerate every single time. So one of our mistakes is that we were playing fast with the bandejas, Viboras all the time. There is not a lot of changing in angles and not a lot of changing in speed. So even though we played to the center, the ball came up too much. So first tip that I want to give you today, try, if you're playing a match, to play slow overhead shots sometimes and see what happens, especially when you're playing to the center. If you are playing a ball to the center that's too fast or too deep, the ball comes up, they can take over. So change angle and change the speed of your overhead shot. Tip number 1. All the things are in the beginning of the match, but it explains perfectly what we're working on. Even though you're getting into that volley rally, or we are going to the net and we are taking over the net, I feel like we are playing fast to the players a lot. And then it's quite easy for them to block with the backhand. But the moment you can change the angle and slow down, you're much more effective, because normally we are playing against tennis players that are much better than us. My own tennis level is definitely not as high as everybody that is in the top 20 of Holland. So I feel like I am more the paddle player over there. I need to play with chiquitas because it's interesting for us and it's a good method to change it up. With a lot of players in Holland, I don't want to get into the volley rally, but if I am in a better position, I can win that rally. But then I need to play that in my own style, and I don't need to get into that fast rhythm. So in this rally, we're getting into that fast rhythm at the net. If we slow down, it will be much better. So tip number 2, even though you're at the net, even though you're in the volley rally, you don't have to accelerate. You can also change angle and slow down the speed. Match tip number 3 would be first serve percentage. I would highly recommend to have a first serve percentage in higher than 80%. We played a match Saturday and our service percentage was higher than 80, maybe even 90% service in, and we were winning all the points on our first serve. So focus on playing deep serves close to the glass. The second part of the first glass, deep, slow, with slice, high percentage serves in. Don't play too fast with your serves, because you can see it's his serve here is a perfect example of the deep serve. It's so effective, because the moment you playing a second serve, they can lob from the return and you have to take over the net again. You can play with pressure if you play the first serve in, so focus on that first serve percentage. Tip number 3. Okay, I really wanted to show this rally. I play it now. These guys are okay in being in defense. They are at the net here, we can lob them again, they can attack, we play back, they play there, they are okay, they play the ball, each plays the lob, they are okay to go back. So they are okay in playing in defense, trying to win the net again, so they play a little bit over the white line. So they're trying to attack a little bit with their positioning. With a very good lob, they are okay, and play a very soft, good angle shot. They play quite aggressive with their positioning, so close to over the white line sometimes, trying to wait on that moment when they can attack, which are okay positioning, but if we play the correct soft ball behind them, it can be very dangerous. But these small position changes is not something that we do on purpose in everything higher than Spain. So these are such good positioning things that they're trying to take over the net, because you see in the last ball, when he's playing the ball cross courts, he is already waiting in front of the line. So Itz plays a little bit short ball and he can attack straight away. And if Itz would play the deep ball, he would play the volley from the back of the court. I would recommend to only try this in a game that is too easy. So one of my tips that I'm giving to players now that I'm coaching is play some games that are too easy for you and try to try a few things. So let's say this positioning. Try to be on purpose over the white line. Little note, this only works if you do it sometimes. Because if you are in front of the white line and you are not aware of that, it doesn't work. This only works if you're in front of the white line and you are able to play the volley from the defense, you're able to play a half volley, and you're able to be quick and use the glass if you can. So these are like semi-attacking, defending, positioning, because they're basically in no man's land, but they know that if we have a deep high ball, that it cannot be deep back all the time, and they can counter on that. So these guys are doing that specifically on balls that we have to move back on. Just a few steps in front and see what happens. So one more clip about the return. So the return here is I'm standing here and playing the ball with a lot of spin in front of him and very low. So when you see that the ball is easy, try to attack a little bit with the return and also try to play top spin from the return. Try to defend and return with spin, top spin, if you're playing without the glass, without the back wall. With the side wall, you can also play with top spin. This is the reason why LeBron and Galan are that good. They can brush the ball a lot. You can see that the return sometimes is just a little bit too high and he can attack. So I'm under pressure with the shot after. So the return might be one of the most important things to work on for everybody. I feel like if you can return the ball low on the feet, you're golden, or the lob. So you can see that he can attack straight away from the return. So we have to work on being lower to the ground, holding our position lower, and to try to play in the middle and avoid that they can get a high forehand volley from the return, because then you're muerto. And also you can see here that I'm playing to the center with the serve. You don't have to play to the glass every single time. Serving to the center is key because he's out of position and then his corner is open. Highly recommend to serve more to the center. So this will be tip number 6 for everybody. Also in this game, I cannot show it now, but my first serve percentage is horrendous. So with the last 5 serves, this is the 3rd game, I miss 5 first serves in a row. Only this ball to the center was the first serve in, and then we won the point straight away. Every other point had to start with a second serve. So serve percentage higher. I think one of the most important things about this is that these guys are very, very solid. They don't make any mistakes. And if you are playing those matches, it can give you some kind of pressure that you don't know how the hell you're going to win the point. These guys are amazing in that. So, and I would highly, highly recommend this. Just dare to play the rally. Dare to play your game. Dare to keep the ball in. It's okay to stay. Sometimes you have to stay 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 shots at the back. Be patient, because they will make a mistake. If you're playing against Spanish players, they might be a little bit worse in fast shots to the body and better when they play slow. So you really have to work on variation and patience. Tip number 7 would be lob shorter. Might feel weird, but a high short lob is key. And with the short lob, I mean this ball. It's just going to play the lob. And it comes quite deep and we are under pressure after. So the depth of the lob should be just over the white line or on the white line. If you're playing this lob, it should be cross. If you're playing this lob straight to the center, maybe even more to the backhand side of the guy in the green. So if you look at this bounce, I'm freezing the picture here. This bounce is too easy for him, so he doesn't have to run that far. And also it's not on his partner's side. So the lob has to be more to the backhand, to the backhand of the right player and shorter. Because then they cannot attack with the bajada, because these guys had very, very good bajadas. And I feel like a good bajada is more difficult to defend than a good bandeja. And they can never play a good bandeja if you lob high and a lot on the right side. So the left player has to move a lot. So this is an important point, because this is about where to play the ball. I'm going to play an overhead soon, so the ball is coming high. So we are both in the middle, we are out of position. So if we play this ball fast, we are gone. So this ball has to be slow to his backhand, because with his backhand he can pass it. The best shot would be is that I'm playing a very soft bandeja in front of the green guy. So this is why coaching is very important. I think it tells me where, but I felt like I could destroy this ball, but I'm quite far from the net, so I shouldn't have done that. I need to slow down on these moments to play on the guy in the green, because he's further away from the net. If I play slow to the feet of the guy in the green, we can still manage to play the rally. So I would say tip 7 or 8, I don't know where we are, I think it's 7, 8, tip 8, that slow down when you're under pressure, especially at the net. It's important. This video is going to take too long because I see too many things. So this is only the beginning of the match probably, but yeah, if I'm going to make a full video, it's going to be too long. So this is a good decision in playing the lob straight. So I'm getting lobbed, I play a fast ball, and they're both quite close to the net. So this is its coaching good. I play the lob, so now they have to switch. After I switched, I'm under pressure, I'm blocked. I just play slow, and people can make mistakes, especially when they switch. So you have to believe that playing slow is okay sometimes, and that you're not losing the point after you play slow. So you have to make sure that if the ball is low and slow, you will hold the net position. So try to play and block slow sometimes, even though when you think you have to pressure all the time. I think it's more or less the same tip as tip number 8, but it's okay to play slow and low sometimes. You cannot attack everything. Okay, you see the next point here. This is important because you can see that when I'm playing in the same speed all the time. We still win the point, and he can defend every single time. So I'm playing the overhead quite fast, and he can just stay there in position. He can defend that one, he can lob me. I play fast ball, he still gets it back. I play fast again, and then we win the point. We won the point because this volley is before the white line, so I guess that's the variation. But it's fast, 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 short, fast. The speed is the same. And with good paddle players, they know. They know, they recognize the speed, so the longer you play against them, the more they know. Because they can play in front of the white line, because they can use the glass and stay in front of the white line and the ball still comes back. Our goal, or the day before yesterday, was score slow. If you can score slow, tip number 9, you can win way more points. So play a match. Focus on scoring slow. This can be a drop shot, this can be a ball soft in the corner, this can be a smash soft to the fence, soft to the sidewall, soft to the sidewall with the volley. Score slow. See what happens. Very good volley from Itz. This is scoring slow. So if you play soft to the center, it's still pressure. You have to remember that it's still pressure. Okay, so the next clip is, I like this lob that I'm playing here because we can win the net quite okay. It's playing a good ball deep. He's playing lob again. Good ball to the middle, very good ball to the center. Then we have to step in closer to the net, in my opinion. That's all we have to work on. And then I lost the point. So you can see the volley before that, I'm playing the ball too fast or the ball comes up too much. If it's just pressuring him, I should step in closer to the net because then I can hit the ball higher and I can slice the ball a little bit more. So we are working on that. I am here. If the ball is there, I am here. And it's is here. So I can pressure positionally wise, he can take everything behind me. If we are playing to the guy in the left side, it's just going to get closer to the net and I'm going to be here on some points. We can hit the ball higher with the volley and play more slice because you can see in this video I'm far from the net. I am lifting up the ball, they can play Chiquita and we're gone. So this is the difference between our level and their level. They can take over the net with the Chiquita very, very early on. Tip number 10, we have to make them move more. Because if I see the match here, we are not making them move so much. The guy in the green, especially in this rally, is very far to the center of the court. Very far, he's completely out of position, but we are not playing in the open space. So I think we should have played slower this match, because then we can make them move a little bit more. It would be good also for you to watch the entire match, which is on YouTube, to see how much they make us move and how much we make them move. And that's a big difference. Also, this is a very important clip. As you can see here, we start with the volley. I am playing the lob straight, so the ball comes over the guy in the green. He has to reach for the ball and jump in order to get a good bandeja. He's still far from the net. The guy in the gray is completely out of position and we play the lob to the same player in the green. He's standing already there and then he can play a wonderful vibora. This is why you should not lob cross courts. The player across of you is further away from the net and he might be in a better position, and also he has the forehand there on the right and then he can pressure a lot. But tip number 11 would be to play and coach on which player you have to play on and avoid hitting cross-court lobs. I like to coach on half and close. Close is their first post position, close to the net, and if they're half, that means is that there is place in front of them. So left half, or both half, both close, left close, and then we can lob over the player on the left. It's important because this is winning the net, getting out of pressure. Maybe the difference between winning the net or losing the point with the bandeja or the smash. So, ladies and gentlemen, most important things of this video. I can't do the entire match because I see too many things, and also this is also part of the problem. One of the most important things we have to work on for us is the return. Keep the return low, the return slower, and return lob. Very good thing to do. Lob more over the player on in front of you, parallel. Coach better on where to play, who's further away from the net, and how can we take over the net. Volleys softer, slower, change more angles. Overheads also slower to the middle sometimes. That will help a lot. And also one of the things is that we analyze too much. We overanalyze. We are both thinkers. We were playing a very good match. We won the first set, we lost the second set. And then it said, Sven, we are over-analyzing this match. We are losing now because we are only thinking about what we should do and how we won this point, how we lost this point. No, we should lob more there. At some point, you just have to play. So we said, okay, now we don't say anything to each other anymore. 3-0 up straight away. If you play with the same player a lot, I guess you can play automatically, and it's just take one thing, focus on one thing. If you play shit, it just can be, okay, who's the worst player? Is he playing on the, okay, the player on the left is worse, play everything to him. Get into a main tactic, because I think we lose the the focus of the tactic, the game too much by getting too many things in. Oh, he has a bad backhand. Oh, he has a high forehand volley that's not good. Oh, we won this point to the fence. Oh, we lost this point to the corner. If you take too much information in your match backpack, it becomes too heavy. And if your backpack is too heavy with all your thoughts, you cannot move anymore. And we stop moving. So get that backpack off your back and play with one thing in mind, because then you don't need the rucksack. If you want to see more videos like this, if you want your game analyzed, please let me know. If you want to see me doing this live, we can also do that sometimes. It would be great fun. If you have any questions about this match, let me know. I respond to everything. And as always, have a very nice Monday, and I see you next time. Hasta luego. Ciao. Adios.